siti ka foko
I'm a political party.
ndella politique party o be lorinne
We give them a free hand to go about their normal businesses when underneath maybe something could be cooking under.
Burunyin kamala ngebula yela kolu tamandi bari satara fere do fanambe siti kan duma me ya lonko wo mukullo ferol titel fongol la karola.
So what this unit will
what
do,
you say.
that's what they taught me.
Yante karandi wolela.
But what was it used for?
Allow me to just go on.
Silo dinna dronga continue.
This is how the unit came into being, and this is why it is a unit that people don't like a lot, simply because
Nyimu bundale ti mellota adum bundalo nyinti me ya lonko molu malla fala bari wo dalilo momenti
because you will do a lot of transcribing.
Ikasafer jama balle ko bundala.
Because whenever there is a political activity anywhere,
Nim politiko kulube tama kandawo da.
The personnel will have to go and cover that meeting.
Do kulalu men be bundala katama be o be ngotole ka kibaro lutaji.
See, what message are they sending?
Ajube mun kibar façon ne be bokan wo politique parti wala molu.
Anything subversive.
Ko kubi jele me ya lonko banko jawya kulemu.
And then you come home with those tapes.
Andong iniwo kumakantari ngolle kana.
The office and then transcribe everything.
Nini ulunata office oto nabe recording fenne bala ibina wulu beyele mandile kabe safe bulola.
Then send that to the analysis unit for them to deduce whatever they deem is intelligence.
Bina ni pareta wala ibina kila duku bunda kotangola membe je me yalonko wolle ka kulu tame kebo nyoto wulu fanali sa jube mun lebe lari nyin kibaro kono.
This was the objective and the mandate of the unit.
Bunda nying wala mala hamendati anu ala longtang kan fana mu wala duwa ya sambo diala wala kam.
Tell us what the unit was used for.
Silang afonye bunda nying ke muna fangala munelanu.
In the beginning, like I said, this is exactly how they operate.
Ko folo dulato ikatama tenne ko nga fonu nyami.
But when the NIA came into being,
bari bring NIA nata law.
Along the line, sometime, somewhere, I think the whole objective became misconstrued.
Ngalong hammo ni dalilo me bunda londi wo bunata faline inata kenyado nyama.
Misconstrued or deliberately obscured, deliberately changed.
I will take
into
both.
something.
Deliberate, misconstrued, because some of the officers even working in the unit, you ask them honestly today, aside, what is the objective of the unit, they will not be able to explain exactly what is the activity or what is the objective.
Ate ayafo nyonyandi nyama katu bundale me ya lonko brinko nata hanfo ameta kolu falindale de hani menno fanglu be do ko la je karabula fonyin tembe ne dolu nyininka e atella do ku bunda nyin Allah o dinkira Allah lo tan kanona la do ko moneti ite kuma koy fono le yeje.
So later on, what I see is the unit is basically more focused on politicians,
spying on politicians,
spying on political parties, and even
gathering data on politicians.
Everything.
Rinko nata menata je ko utumolem bunda nyina do kulalu ila nyati linya nata ke politiko letikatu politik patiolu ikawolle no masata ke korosi aninka kibaro lu kensun politik patiolu kama anin politician lu fanglu kama te ladu ko nata ke woleti la nyati linya nata tiling politiko sambanya Kenya le la bankoka.
And what was the objective of all that?
I believe the whole objective, like I said, is to serve the government of the day, like the president.
Namera wotumo woto ela lotan kan mu nyineti anila nyati linya mu nyineti kadu ko ke man sakundae wala fam banko nyaton ko pour ka kolu ke me yalon ko abekala wolle la finna polti
to serve the president, to give him unfair advantage in elections.
That's right.
Wala fam ka silo diala me yalon ko abekala sila tembe baloleti politiko la karola.
You know that is unlawful.
yala no mo
Yes,
wonta yalde
Ah,
Obviously.
ah,
It's taxpayers' money
ko na mu jola la ko dole
ah.
being used
e kay muna fan wala la
to spy against political opponents
ka
of the
kullu
government
sunya ke wala ka wala politics oppositional kan
in order to gather information, in order to advantage the president.
nyin kamala pour ka kullo kafu nyoma kibarol kafu nyoma wala ko ka president nyin nafa
That is highly unlawful.
Very
ko me alon ko
unlawful,
mu
Council.
wonta ya balde
O mu luwanta yalti council.
Very unlawful. But let's start from the source.
To nyale moti anil luwa manta bari nga adamuta kuo folo kuo tamandi bundato.
Council, when you look at the NIA,
Council ni NIA fango jibe.
my opinion, and I think every sound-minded person will agree with me,
Tela miro to adunga mira fanang molu menu fanala miro kono fanuta ibe sonna nak makangulu lade.
NIA was built
Ye NIA lo nya memma
to be bad in the first place.
pour ay ke dinkira jawoti ko folota jele.
Well, we want to make it good. So tell us why or what made it bad in the first place.
laftala ka bete yande ka dingira kendo de silang afonye muna ya sabu je ke da dingira jawo ta nin dingira tinyari mo
In my opinion,
Ntela jero to
you build the NIA, for example. The NIA was built
ite NIA lo ya lo nyamin bitun misali kama
and then you put some additives in it
yana bitun ko dolu kala faje menu buko amunta sunyar bundalu sumolu yolu dundije.
some additives in it that will eventually defeat the general purpose of the intelligence service.
Yesungulu dundije me ya lon ko na meta wala do ko bina kala menti wolem dinkira lota ku kendo men fango kama ibina wotinyala
Example, I don't see the need.
ko misali kama nte manyin daliloje
The interpretation is suggesting sungol.
Yeah,
And sungols do not translate to additives.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
additives. Oh, I think he said thieves.
No, additives. Additives.
Okay, kakolu la faje.
So, such like the investigation department,
Bunda membe ko kisikisiro bunda.
we can have a research department, fine.
Nsi kunyini bunda sotonnole.
It's normal. The department will secretly or discreetly research into matters of national security.
Nsi kolu nyininole ka jube kolu menu tilinta bankola kanto nin tankadala nin kukotengulu.
When you have an investigation unit, I think that's policing.
Bari niya kisikisir bunda soton woto munyati ko bekola ko police la doko.
It will defeat the purpose of the discrete nature of the intelligence service.
Amunta kullo doko kullo dinkaringo doko dalilo abewo falinnale.
Because you will have frequent direct contacts with people.
Atu wati o wati ini molu be kari nyomo ilale kafuta nyoma.
And by doing so, you are blowing the covers of everybody in that compound.
Andum puruka ke wonya woto be molu wanyari kan ne men ya lon ko nyanta tar la kullo kono.
This is why when I was DDG, I struggled a lot sometimes.
Wala na brinte keta suti o no lan ko tinga kata bake tumodolu.
You have something fundamentally national security and you want to deploy this discrete operation and you can't find anybody.
Ni ku keta memmu bankola kanto nin tankada kunyati andu ilafta molu bulala ya do koke men ya lon ko be tar la kullo kono ye tara suturo kono aka kole ya puriyo mo fosolo so kado tembo ya tara wo molu be menu be do kola je be wanyari ta mobi molu ye be long.
But even at that, the issue of blowing of covers.
wala ka ko nyinga wanya
I mean, the NIA officers themselves
NIA do kulal fa
wore their titles as a badge for intimidation.
ifangol kay ila tol nying
Ikanganya itola kamolu silan.
That is true. This is why I'm coming to. I will come to that. That is one sector I just give you.
Omuto nyalti mbina jele fanna killing follow ngawle fo ko nga funu
Agency
nyami
was created to be bad in the first place. The second thing is
ko nga funu nyami doku bunda ya prendi nyina kama purka ke dinkira jawoti fulanjang momenti
you created an intelligence agency with a decree.
iteye kullo doku bunda londi andu ya londi ni menna wala msojari kamoti ka fama ye decree.
And that decree, Decree 45, became enshrined in the Constitution.
Andung wo kango wo decree tanani ni lulo wala decree 45 inata dundi bankola sarta bukuba nyin kono ka fo constitution.
With overwhelming powers.
Andu yo ni sembe bale dundi je.
Absolute power will always corrupt someone.
Andung wo sembe la natambir ngo aka molu falinne ke yelemande ke
My
londi
opinion, this is why I said it was created to be bad from the onset.
Wala nantela jero to nga foko kabiring afolo dulalom ipareta je yeke dinkira kurungoti.
Traditional police powers were given to the NIA.
Police ila ado ni sembo ni ina na beta ya di NIA.
They were not only to investigate or deal or intervene in matters of national security, they were to also intervene in private matters.
Manke nyindi ida katu kisikisiro donale ke dabula banko kamol fanan damal da kol fanan ke dabula je ka kisikisi.
Would you agree that the decree, the way it is structured, made it such that it could be used as a private security force for the president?
Amunta yo decree wole wo kallori mo ya dada nyamin anata mulunyina la ko mu bundale te mellondi ka sembo diala me ya lon ka abekala jorango le ti pour banko fango president be tamala jorango men.
Of course I will agree.
Mbe solna wala
Because when you look at the NIA,
katu ne NIA jube
all they do, all they say, all their modus operandi is all centered towards satisfying one person. That's how I see it at the end. It's like
niya jube itamarangulu ikuke talo ila kufor kangulu aning ikabara menu la abebe tilinding ko men la pour ka mo kilindoron se wonde.
Then we've paid the price for that.
Adung sorry na tawo falang jole amantoro na tarabuli han fo ngajo.
What ended up happening as everybody was witnessing in this country was countless threats of attempted coups and attempts to storm the government and things like that. They were slipping through the cracks.
Amunta anatake nyasinya jamati kudeta bayri ngulu nata bula nyono anin kukurun kote ngulu men yalon ko silol lem wolti me yalon ko nimman sakunda mu sansan lori ngoleti sansan jimbalo teinta faranta.
And as an intelligent organization, it was our duty to make sure that we are able to counter these things before they could even bloom.
Nin ntelu kulado ko ba anyama no wairi ntelu belori bundale la pour kullo dinkari ngodo ku bunda ka banko tankandi wo nyanta kelan tolle la do koti pour ka o bunda jawolu fa janning ibe wulila fa sako isi sorong.
But I will say it is just sheer luck that has been helping us.
Ntinyim foko ala la manta be wonin harjewle bentolu makoy kan nun dorong.
You guys slept or you dropped the ball?
Amundal do al sino dal ban fo ale kato nyali.
Why? Why did that happen? Why were all these attempts or plans slipping through the cracks?
And the answer to that is very simple. Because the agency was no longer focused on their core duty. Distractions were huge.
Somebody who stole the cattle belonging to the president goes to the NIA, correct?
True.
Yeah, Tonya.
A is chasing after B, C is not happy with it, it goes to the NIA. James owes Jackie, it goes to the NIA. Somebody says something unpleasant about the president, it goes to the NIA.
Tonya.
A child goes to school wearing a uniform shorter than prescribed, the teacher goes to the NIA.
dinno ita karamungo to anungo dinno nya uniform men dunga ni uniform la ila comme ila sarto ya la nya la uniform no foratal rong ya yo mari samba ena ni diam taw dinno
The list can go on.
The president is passing. Dembo refuses to stand up. Dembo is arrested and taken to the NIA.
President keda molde me ya lonko Dembo abetambi kan Dembo man sonna ka wuli kalo arong ya mari yo Dembo muta ya samba NIA.
The list can go on, Council.
Council is a certified jamfa.
Because these are the kind of distractions that has been causing a lot of damage and good.
Nyinkolu menu ya lonko wolle ikodindi ila nyatili nya fangola wolle be tinyaro ke kanu
Who is responsible or what is responsible for the loss of focus of the NIA to its core responsibilities and moved on to other things that should not concern a traditional intelligence organization?
Muna be marle nyinko bela me ya sabu NIA ila nyatili nyanyan na kala mende ko luwa e sembo di la men e me nyatili gola fo e nyatate na nyatili fanna do me alan ko amanke la do ko muna o sabu.
I will tell you, Council.
Council mba fula nko.
There's a common saying: when a fish rots, it starts from the head.
Ko sando ya fanya min ni nye tolita toloka folo wa kungol to de.
And who was the head?
President, of course.
President of what?
Amen. Because I'll cite you few examples.
Mbe misali danta dilela.
You will be sitting in the office, they will bring somebody.
Better la sitting office kono ye monati.
You, out of curiosity, you want to know what is this guy doing here.
Kumpo kama itabela fele kalo nyimbe muneke kanjang.
They will tell you the president's assignment.
Ba fele ko president la kila president la do kolem nyinde.
And what are these assignments? He owes the president money.
Wo do ko dum munete ikananya na fo ko
like that.
President la julole bala.
With intelligence.
Mo dum kuleti wo be muneke la kullo do ku bunda.
So this is why I said it all starts from the top.
But also in the institutional arrangements, we have to check the legislation. Was there a reporting obligation to Parliament?
Not to my knowledge, I don't think there was any. NIA is seen and known all this while as the president's own.
NIA ko nga ya jele andu moli ya lo nyina la ko president o talo mujeti.
Parliament or justice don't come between.
Dipite bungo wala na tilimu ni nkito bunda wolo bukadunga itema.
If we were to ask or consider reform of the NIA, which are the areas you think would need most urgent reform? Perhaps maybe this is an unfair question now, but I would float that question, you think about it, and you send a paper to the Commission on that issue.
I suppose so.
Now let us proceed. And you mentioned that the NIA in fact became a special arm for the implementation of the president's wishes, pretty much.
Yeah, for Janko, NIA naranaki dinkira me ya lonko ikatabandro ke president wala dianye kuolela.
Was there ever a link between the NIA and the Green Boys or the Jama Foundation or the youth movements or whatever?
Fo choki nyolo be jele bang membe yalon ko be tarda be sabatirin num NIL aning jabya jambele jamba kere dunnal funding kel kaf me Green Boys aning Jambe Foundation fu choki nyolo be ning NIL tema la bang aning funding ke kafu kotama.
Normally there shouldn't be any link. The only link I could think of
na ba nyama chokinyola manyan na tarle tema bari ntesi chokinyola o mira
because there was a time I remember
katu watu sotontanu nga hakilo bakang
some of these Green Boys
yin Green Boys olu jamba kere dunnalu dolu
the youth movement, certain elements were taken from those and conscripted into the NIA.
anin wo fondin ke kafola modolu katawo jamba kere dunnalo ye modolu tawolu kono le ke nati ke dundi NIA do ko kono.
This was again another terrible move.
Ñim fanam mu sila kurun doleti men keta sila tilimbalote.
Because these, knowing where they started and knowing their mindset, you conscript them into the system, all they will do is to advance the president's absolute wishes.
Atu
Without even calculating.
Niya jube kabiring ifolota daming fo kana bula etel nata lo nyamin fo inata edundi do ko kono woto mo womondin beje etel kono ila do ko ni la nyatili nyabe kala muneti ka president wala lafinna ko no masata pour wol yello ye saha ko etelu lafta la nyamin anim president wala lafta la nyamin amun da etel bello la ko kilim don ne kanje.
And I remember
andon hakilo bulata nyim fanan nako
there was a time one or two of these persons were working in my unit.
Mo kilim fo mo fula ñol tarta ñi molu kono men be do ko lan tefangola karola.
And all they talk about is the green revolution and how it could be implemented here. I said, how does this help the NIA? It's intelligent gathering.
Ñi molu la do ko be tilinta munela revolution jamba kero e ka fo me green revolution. Andu ite ladiamo be kakenu woliti anin itelu bo dundi la Gambia banko kanja nyami wotun tenga mira wodum wobe enay ela do ko yirwandi la no nyaadile.
But also more worryingly they became thugs for the ruling party at the time.
Inara na ke molti me alon ko inara na ke diamu count 50 the ruling party o me mararola no jono wato.
Yes, Council.
Council.
That shouldn't be a surprise. Because that's how they came into the system in the first place. Follow. Brought them in there. So I think in their mindset, they think their survival is tied to the ruling party.
Elsewhere or at different times, intelligence agencies have served as secret channels for the government to fund its other political activities, which otherwise could not have been done lawfully.
Yo adun blado nata soto dame yalon ko wo molu men yalon ko bo do ko bundala inata ke molu ti menno kanyin tamandi ka kullo kono ka kodolu dépense me yalon ko ite lala finna kolle molti ka dépense dundi wolu kono kullo kono me yalon ko wolu nata ke kulleti menu soton taybe tamakan.
Just as an example,
mbe santi yango dile la wala misalo,
funds are budgeted for the NIA
yena fululu parindi me yalon ko nyanta dila NIA la
with the full knowledge
bari andu ñi londo le ba ko mako
that this money is never going to be used for any NIA legitimate activity.
Bari ñi lon halap londo memba ko ma wala ñinti ko ñin kodo ate dunna NIA wala do ku wodo ku kunna.
It's in fact to funnel money from government unlawfully to a private enterprise, say Jammeh Foundation, July 22nd movement, or things like that.
Andu kodo men ka fote nyami akullo kono wairi yadi ko NIA bari hana bututo te dunna NIA la kukunna de ikana wulu dolu kullo to sambale ke idundi kolu kono mennu be ko Jammeh Foundation aning bunda kotenglu men yalon ko wollebe tamakan atanyim bunda kilungla sola kolu kama e ka kodo nyin dundi wolleto
or to fund political campaigns.
Wala ka dundi politiko campaigno lukunna.
Has this been happening?
Fo wodumbe kekande numbang.
Council, you brought a very important point. Simply because
ye bunda kumale maten katu.
When you look at intelligent organizations around the world, it's like a body that is legitimate in the eyes of government. in reality they walk around the gray areas of the law.
bari toña itel ka do ko ke luwa la bunda le la menu be jenjangolu la
This involves a lot of illegalities.
andu wo jenjangolu la tilimbaliya jamalu bije
This is supposed to be discreet too,
andu wo annabe kala fay ke kullo kono
because if it is known, it is going to spark a huge outcry of illegalities.
katu niana talong mo jamale be wala kadiya mo ko la ka foko nyi mantilin nyi ni luwa manta
NIA is no exception to that.
adun NIA fanam imantan kawoma
Does that mean they've been doing it?
wala nyinti ko fanalu be o ke kan nenum
When you look at the modus operandi of the NIA,
ni NIA ulu la do ko tanya nin alanya jube ka kenyame
so many operations that were conducted,
do ku tamandi jama sotonta e mennuke
they are legitimate operations. For example, I'll start with that.
ila do ko bundalu menu tilinta
You cannot call them lawful.
te o fangulu fono la ka fo e tilintale
Example?
For example,
Santiago
I'll give
Mune.
you some of the modus operandi. For example, the law says
o nsi masalo di la ko luwa ko
you don't go into somebody's private property,
te dunna mola fansun dinkirato
his room, in his bedroom,
kata hanu fo ala bungo kono sako ala labungo kono
without his permission or from permission from the courts, like a warrant.
satara ate mari man kango dila walla satara iman kaito soto kabo kiti bunda la menu bete sembentu yala
Because as an intelligent outfit, they go around this and triangulate it by doing surreptitious entries.
andung itelu kila tama nyamu mendi wole mai kata murumuru ne kadung binkiral to kawo kolu tamandi o nyam men ya lonko ikake fansun kango le kan
And worse still, at very, very odd hours, 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
andu ikana wo ke wati sangara balli la talan saba suto talan nani suto
But counsel, the kind of entry I'm saying here is
kansulum be
this kind
dunya
of
façon
entry
mem
is
majal
not supposed to be detected.
wo mu dunya le ti me ya lonko mo manyan na bola kalama
Has to be discreet in nature.
foi ba kala kullo le kono
Go in, look at what you want to look or get what you want to get and get out. It's like a thief.
yedum ya jube ite lafta men jela je yewo je walla lafta men
Classical
tala je
spying.
yewo ta amunta don ko sungo kama nyami
Yes, you pick locks.
ha nyin tika chabolu yele faye kullo kono
It's true.
muto nyal
And so many other things. This is why I said an intelligent organization, to be very honest with you,
wala na nga foko kullo din karin do ku bunda pour ka to
it's
nyafo
just built to be, I don't know, but not to the extent that we are talking about.
nyanta
This
lola
one is
nyama
blatant
me ya
and
lonko
it is
sikol
meted outright on the people.
bari amanyan tala wo nya ko ni ak labanta men fulaten
There is a huge debate out there as to how far you can go against private citizens.
kachanyo kachas kuma bale beta kanje puru alisimu sembele tano kabo mo kafuta moluma men ya lonko be fayenne
Do you, at the NIA, pay attention to these things?
NIA je fali kali hakilo to wol tole bang
You know how I see the NIA is council attention, paying attention to legalities or illegalities. In my opinion, I believe at some point is nobody cares.
NIA konte biaje nyamin wato na ta soto wato me ya lonko
Because the
pour que
amount-
hakilo tu silola luala silolula ani silol men luwa manta wo wati na ta soto le wo dabo ta jele yi nyina tawle
Because the amount of pressure that was building up, like they've been bombarded with so many operations here and there,
kato
bombarded with so
tumo
many assignments. And when you look at 90% of these things have no bearing in national security.
wotumo kolu nata siale ka lankangulu anin do kolu anin ka kolu le kan men ya lonko isiyata le hanfa lan na tambita adu wolu be wolu manna sila soto me ya lonko anin ena ela do ko tata
So yes, illegality was common in the
Ah,
open.
to nyala
And illegality in the reality, in its real core duties, has to be discreet.
adun wolu nyon jamale keta menu ni silo manta nyola adun niko kullo dinkarin do ko jama bi jani silo nyanta tala bari nyin labango la wolu dolu nata ke kulleti menu jenketa
Mr. Chair, perhaps it's convenient to take a break now?
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Council, and thank you very much for the matter. We will take a 30-minute break and come back at 12:15. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
called me my original name.
ci géej gi du géej gi am na njëriñ kaay leen ñu naan ndox ndox mu seet a wóor nappi leen man de nappi na nappi leen man de nappi na